I sure hope it is still very, very safe to fly, but that's not why I'm doing this video. Obviously, it's much, much, much safer than driving your car. I mean, there's a lot of statistics and data that support that even flying, is safer than driving 5 minutes down the street to get some eggs at your local grocery store. It's actually, there's more risk getting in your car any time of the day. Any amount of traffic, doesn't matter. Cars are infinitely more dangerous. However, this is a really, really scary incident, what happened on Alaska Airlines. It could have been a million times worse. Thank God it wasn't. But if you haven't seen the video, check this out.
We are very, very fortunate here that this didn't end up
I don't know how those guys are so
in something more tragic. No one was seated in 26A and B, where that door plug is. The aircraft was around 16,000 feet and only 10 minutes out from the airport when the door blew. Fortunately, they were not at cruise altitude of 30,000 or 35,000 feet. We are very, very fortunate here that this didn't end up in something more tragic. No one was seated in 26A and B.
Thank God. Okay, so that was the National Transportation Safety Board, spokesperson there talking about this, unprecedented event where the window just basically blew open, and there's all sorts of investigation, like what's happening here, what's going on. It's creating a broader conversation about quality in this great country of ours and how that's perhaps dwindled or diminished. I'd love to hear from you. What do you guys think? Just a little bit more news on this. So these are the 737 MAX 9s. These are newer planes. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating whether the stop bolts, which should have prevented the door plug from coming off the Alaska Airlines jet, this happened about 3 or 4 days ago, were there to begin with, reports the New York Times. Both United Airlines and Alaska Airlines said they had found loose hardware while inspecting some of the Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes. The Federal Aviation Administration ordered the jets to be temporarily taken out of service after a section of Alaska Airlines plane fuselage blew out mid-flight. This happened last Friday. In the latest upheaval at Boeing stemming from the issue-plagued 737 MAX. Can we just throw these planes away? Are you with me on that? Let me know in the comments. You think we should just get rid of these 737 MAXs? There's a lot of problems with these guys, which were grounded worldwide almost 2 years ago, if you don't remember, after 2018 and 2019 crashes that killed 346 people. So Boeing's CEO David Calhoun is hosting a company all-hands safety meeting Tuesday in Renton, Washington factory. Alaska was not using the plane involved in Friday's incident on long flights over water after a pressurization warning light was seen 3 times in the past month. That's interesting. The blown out door part has been recovered in the backyard. Can you imagine this? The dude who picked up this door that flew out from the sky in Portland, Oregon, expected to help with the investigation. About 171 of the roughly 215 MAX 9 jets in service have been temporarily grounded. Boeing reported last quarter that would miss its annual production target due to issues such as incorrectly drilled holes in the aircraft. I don't know about you guys, but I have a very, very strong fear of flying to begin with. I've got a vacation coming up in April, a big one with my family. We're going to the Bahamas. We're really looking forward to it. We got to take about 4 or 5 planes to get there. This makes me extremely, extremely nervous. So I really, really hope these guys get this under control. But here's a question I want to pose to you, because this is not just a news reel that I want to create here. There has been a lot of talk, a lot of discussion about quality in this country as of late. I've talked many times on this channel about how pretty much the degradation of customer service in this country has gone out the window. No more do you find when you walk into an establishment, let's just say like Starbucks or whatever, no longer are you greeted with, "Hi, how are you? How can I take your order?" There's simple, decent customer service, the customer's always right, precepts and concepts when I grew up with and what I, kind of embody with my businesses has completely gone out the window. Now I get this dude. Every time I go into anywhere, if it's a restaurant or whatever, I get this. How can I help you? What can I do for you? What do you want? That's what I get. This is the kind of customer service I get. Look, I was a teenager once. I remember having these crap jobs where I had to serve the public, and it was a public that absolutely drove me crazy. I know it's a tough job. It's not an easy gig, but I always tried to, do my job the best of my ability, and I always tried to serve the customers the best as possible and make them feel that their hard-earned money was being spent well at our establishment, wherever I worked. I wasn't a corporate guy per se, but I did my job well, and I was proud of that fact, and I think that that's something that the customers appreciated, and I got raises because of that, et cetera, et cetera. This kind of, incident with Alaska Airlines, and maybe perhaps all of these culminating incidents happening in the airlines. We see these videos go viral all the time, flight attendants getting attacked, and, customers and travelers, behaving like absolute petulant children, et cetera, et cetera. Some of these airline companies just acting totally egregious, canceling flights for no reason, forcing people to give up their paid seats. A lot of weird stuff happening in aviation and in transportation in general, and maybe even in customer service on a macro level in our entire country. So is this kind of emblematic or indicative of what's happening in this country? Are we seeing a decline in quality and service product, a kind of decline in craftsmanship and pride, serving the customer, making sure that we're creating the highest quality products and services that we can? Or is this just kind of an isolated incident? I'd like to throw this question out to you. I, for one, I'm going to continue to sweat every time I get on an airplane. I'm going to continue to be frightened out of my gourd. I don't think that's ever going away. I don't know what to do about it. This certainly is not helping. Thankfully, there was nobody sitting in those window seats when that window popped open and the plugs came out, or were there plugs there to begin with? We're still investigating that, or the NTSB is still investigating that. It could have been a million times worse. But I hope this is just an isolated incident. They get this fixed as soon as possible. But I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? How do you feel about flying? How do you feel about the airlines? How do you feel about the broader question I posed about what's happening with quality in this country of ours? I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you check out these videos right here. If you haven't already, subscribe down there, and I'll see you very soon.